Everybody, Todd McFarlane is going to show you what it is that I'm doing today for a book that we have that's going to press. So nothing specific in terms of drawing. I'm just going to sort of gab about what I do on a normal basis. So here's a page that we've got coming out. And if I blow this up, you can see that we've got sort of the contours, if you will, of what I'm left-handed. I hate having to cut over all the time. But we have over here a guy sitting on a couch. It's basically going to be him in a gas mask, right? You're going to have the people coming into the house. You're going to lots of dark, lots of shadow, whatever. But you know, we take sort of the basic outline of what we've got. He's got his little dog. Dog's going to have a gas mask on too, because it looks odd and creepy. But now I have to go in there and I have to ink it. So this page, I've already done the layer of the ink, so I'm just going to go in and out so I can show you up close some of the stuff that I think is sort of important. One of the things that I'm trying to do when I'm inking, besides adding some cool stuff, is to build up some of the shadowing and some of the texture. So there's my inks. And again, if I click it off and on, you're going to see where some of the big stuff is, right? Take a look at like where the eyes are. Take a look at some of the shadowing that comes here. Trying to put a highlight, getting a little bit of thickness over here. And one of the things is that this drawing right here is a dead weight, right? I mean, most of the lines on it, as you can see, the lines are all about the same size. They're all about the same size. And what I'm trying to do as I go in there and ink it is I'm trying to give a little bit of weight and a little more prominent to some of the places here. So as you pull back, you now see that there's going to be a little bit more shadow and lighting that's on the whole images that you see on the screen. So if I go a little bit smaller now, right, if we go here, then you're going to see, right, if I go off, on, I mean, again, this is interesting, we got the shape, but this is going to do it. And then let me get back in screen for you here, and then we have to come in here and we have to build up all this stuff, right? Even the little silly lines down here, the shadows that are on the couch here. So I'll show you another one, and then I'll just sort of show you some inking in action. Here's another thing that we're dealing with here. We've got the girl cyan. I thought that this drawing was a little bit, made her look a little bit too old. She almost looked like she was a little bit drunk or something like that. So I come back in, and I change sort of the look of her, get her a little bit younger, a little bit prettier, make her not look, you know, sort of too simple there. Although, again, there would be blacks in here, so all the textures would get there. But, you know, here's the shape here. Now we come in here, and I've added the rough of that. As you can see, I've sort of built up the eyes, given her a little bit prettier face. And then we get down here, we get into profile, right? So once we get into the profile, then it's quite easy for me to then come in here and ink. But again, as you can see here in the hair, things like the hair, you know, you do a couple scribble lines, and then eventually you got to come in here and you have to build it all up, right? So there's a couple different ways to do it. I'll show you how to do a couple of the places. Let's say some hair in here. So I'm going to hand this over so I can use both of my hands here. So one of the ways that I start is that I'll come in here. I'll start with the black. And then I just throw some long lines in here, right? So I throw some long lines just so I get some shape in it. I'm not really concerned whether they're all perfect because I can always come back. And then at times I'll do some stuff. I'll go over it 3 or 4 times so I can get something that's a little bit bulkier and a little bit bigger, right? So I can go here, here, and I'll throw some up in here